We never had these obstacles before at all, you know, so to have it with perfect ground, no one's kicking you out, no one has to kick you out because you're staying too late, you know what I mean? The lights are on, constant maintenance going on at that spot, so it's a blessing.
The history of skateboarding is the history of like urban architecture in this country, for sure.
Yeah.
It's incredibly, in some ways, skateboard magazines and videos are like the most overly thorough documentation, really, of these like kind of forgotten spaces. And like locally here, in that same vein, if you think about like Cathedral Square, like the Granny Banks and the Dorley Building, 444, that's like the banks with the stairs in the center. This like local style of like brick brutalism.
Brick is cool. I like brick though. I like the way it feels.
The volcano is like the funnest thing.
Oh my god, the volcano is the best obstacle there. I don't care.
Brick.
Brick or smooth, I gotta say.
A lot of times when they make these random skate parks that are just tucked in the woods or whatever, like Hector was saying, they just throw ramps there and you just do whatever you got to do, and they don't really care if, like, what we like to skate or ask for our opinion. So with Trinity, it was
Built by skaters for skaters, no?
There wasn't really much of a template for like this kind of advocacy, because like the goal was like very mercurial and like kind of foggy, and there wasn't really a roadmap. So yeah, it was just like Isaiah and I going into these rooms with the neighbors and like the relevant city departments and like other like nonprofits downtown, and kind of just like learning as we went. And I feel like we were like very strongly complementary to one another in those meetings.
It's also cool that it like was a skate spot before it was turned into what it is today. So like mid 90s, back then we called it the Burger King loading dock, because like the Trinity Brew House was a Burger King. So you could go and get like cheap food, skate the stairs.
It's really cool to see like the female community growing, because when I started, there was only like 6 of us. And then a few other girls came over to me and were like, we've been sitting here for 2 hours and we didn't start skating until we saw you skating. And then they had like an all girls like game of skate, and it was like really cool to like just skate with other people in the community from all over. There are a handful of us that skate Providence, but it's a very small community for women as well.
Doing that whole thing, just knowing that we're here, you know, and seeing the cars and seeing the people on their porches, seeing that was like from one neighborhood all the way here is literally my favorite day almost. I'd say probably in Providence skateboard history.
Yeah, we skateboarded from Uniconica Skate Park, which is on Plainfield Street, to Trinity Skate Spot.
I mean, especially like our age range too, like if you're not going to school or like have like a service industry job, it's pretty hard to meet people, and then you go to the skate park, and that is a community space where you can kind of learn about like shit that's going on or struggles that other people are facing that I might not otherwise know about. If the younger generation at that park sees some good homies sticking up for the women's rights, like that will influence them.
Especially such a small area like Trinity, like that packs in like 3 different generations all in one afternoon. It's pretty crazy.
If you see something, you can make it happen. You know, that's what a dream is. And I see it right now, even though it's crusty ground. I see the perfectly paved ground and the obstacles on the blueprints. You know, like I imagine it in my brain. But I see other members coming on.
That's completely critical that it's broader age range, obviously fewer heterosexual men in leadership. The one thing that is like a strength and is like really incredible about the Providence skate community is that is its racial diversity is like really exceptional in that just about every community in Providence is represented in skateboarding.
I see other people documenting and hopefully documenting through Friends of Adrian Hall, which we can only figure out ourselves. Like I said, with the theater, I see us doing a video here.
As far as that, maybe jobs, I feel like there's always something to do at Trinity, when it's snowing or, it's not gonna snow all the time, but even maintenance, I feel like that's a big thing. Lessons, skateboarding lessons.
The 4 years that I've been skating, this is the most welcomed I've ever felt in any type of group. It's the most friends I've ever made, especially all females. Like when you come out and we support each other, it's the most bliss.
Growing up, skateboarding in the city and in the scene, never in a million years I would have thought I'd be in a Zoom call with a bunch of other skaters trying to make the community even better or even have this kind of conversation. It's kind of crazy to me.